You smell that? Something a little off? Smell it? That's the smell of success. Just let a little bit of that wash over you. Oh no, we were born. Yeah, that's egomaniac Monday for you, huh? No, just let it sink in. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Monday. How you doing? My favorite day of the week, actually. What do you do on the weekends? This doesn't work on the weekends. It's like you're forced to go do something else, and then I'm looking at land in all kinds of different states. I end up coming up with a million things to do. So I'm happy to be back here. Welcome to the Closing Beat. It's our stock market update show. We are financial advisors here. We invest for you. We plan with you. We teach you. And coming soon, we'll even trade with you on a day-to-day basis for those of you that like to do the trading there. So I hope you'll join us. We're going to cover the stock market and all kinds of good things here today. I'll try to be brief and go through things clearly, but I'll try to teach you as well. Our Wine and Wealth class this week, we're going back to trading. So we're doing a little series now where 1 week we do planning and long-term sort of geekery there. And then the next week we do trading because a lot of our clients are out there trading. And this week I'm going to give you a start-to-finish strategy that you can use if you're not familiar with trading or how to look for something to buy something. When's a good place to buy it? We're actually going to go through what do you look for? If you like a pullback, where do you let it go? When do you decide to buy? And we'll take it from there. So we're going to do some trading here this week. Actually, if you're one of our clients, I'll instruct you to go to the Notes from Jazz in our dojo there. This week, all of our archives are there as well. This week we covered the stock market performance, of course, and we talked about the S&P being up 75%. How often does that happen? Why does it happen? And at the very end, I actually covered an office trade that we have going on here if you're interested, and I explained exactly why that is. We did a class on it to go into more detail as well and kind of gave you an update to let you know how things are going there. So I hope you will check that out. As far as the stock market goes here today, off to the right-hand side of your page, not much, right? Not much to go on there. And so we'll take a look and see what we can come up with because I actually have some pretty strong opinions based on what's happening here. Wednesday, stock market's looking towards Wednesday. Old Biden's going to come out with his infrastructure plan, I believe. So lots of more money to be spent elsewhere after spending a lot of money. And it seems like a lot of money's going out, but it's okay because we're all going to pay more taxes and I don't know. So the market's waiting for that on Wednesday as well. In the meantime, he said today, put the mask back on. Every state needs to be wearing their masks. He hoped that they would reinstitute the mask mandates because a couple of them took them away, I believe. Not Florida, but I think it was Texas and Alabama, maybe. So anyways, that's basically political news for the day. Let's talk about the stock market here. Going on over to the Russell 2000 first. Hey, by the way, we have cups for sale. You want to buy a cup? Thanks to a major marketing mishap, we are currently in possession of an overabundance of these magnificent office coffee cups, and they're available to you on our website for the low price of, how much are they? $14.99. Okay, that seems like a little much. That's a cheap coffee cup. Yeah, it's cheap. Well, the coffee cup is not cheap, but the price is cheap? Yes. I don't know. That sounds like a lot. Okay, what do they... Oh, they come with a stock certificate. That's right. An authentic... Here, hold on a second. Ta-da! These things actually come with a authentic, however old, stock certificate, randomly selected, like this one is from the Pennsylvania Railroad from 1936. 45 shares of the Pennsylvania Railroad, currently worth nothing, but it's an official stock certificate. So we're including that as well because, you know why? The shipping is ridiculous. We pay for the shipping, so we wanted to try to make it a little more interesting. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. I don't think we have many left, actually, but if there's a little counter on there, it tells us when we run out, and it will stop the sale. Anyways, looking over at the markets here today, you got the Russell 2000, hands down the weakest of today. That sucks because I have a long trade on the Russell 2000 we can cover in the office trade segment there. But it's going to be some of the same names. Caesars Resorts, or Entertainment is how I guess they call themselves. It's had two positive days since joining the S&P. Today it was a little bit lower there as well. Plug Power also moved lower. I know people are looking at this pullback trying to find an opportunity there. It just doesn't seem like it's yet. Penn National also pulling back. Cody, you like that one, right? That's your play. You like that pullback on Penn? He's got no money. That's right. We all pretty much have spent all of our money on our trades there. We'll cover that in a little bit. Anyways, those are continuing to pull back. Penn National not off to a good start since joining the S&P 500, but it'll be fine. If we look at the Russell 2000, it's been bouncing around the 10% year-to-date gain, right? We're still up 10%. It's the best performing index out there. But for now, it's sort of hovering around trying to decide what its next move is. So I don't have much to offer there. Everything in the Russell 2000 was weak today. Your growth stocks, your value stocks, your index in general was weak. So, bit of an off day for that one. If we look at the NASDAQ here, it's hovering around the flat line year to date. It's actually almost perfectly flat year to date for the NASDAQ 100. Today, it was just tech that was weak. If you look at tech, it was the tech stocks as well as the virus stocks. So I'll just point out a few here. You got DocuSign continuing to pull back, not as bad as it was earlier in the day. Names like Zoom, you know, the familiar names were related to the virus. That continues to fade away as well. And then semiconductors, if I could just point out a few of those. If you look at semiconductors, I'll go to AMAT first because I happen to have a trade on that one. It pulled back a little bit today. Lam Research, another popular one, chopping around. I almost feel like the momentum is drying up here in semiconductors, but that's one of the reasons that your NASDAQ was lower on the day, just ever so slightly. Bright spots in the NASDAQ are going to be your retailers that are NASDAQ traded. Costco, look at that V-shaped bottom or W-shaped bottom on Costco. Not too bad there. Dollar Tree also making new 52-week highs, so not bad. And Ulta hasn't quite recovered yet, but today one of the stronger stocks in the NASDAQ 100. If we look at the Dow here for the day, it's up, well, this is going to be a new record, actually, for the Dow. So up about 9% year-to-date, and this would be a new record high for the Dow. If we look inside of there, you're going to find Boeing. So Boeing up 2.33% today. They had a deal with Southwest. We'll cover that in a little bit for the 737 MAXs. Good to see them recovering. Coca-Cola got a Barron boost there, mentioned in Barron's, along with a handful of others like Verizon, good strong stocks that they like that pay dividends. So those two stocks stand out from doing that there. On the downside, it's going to be banks. JP Morgan down about 1.5%. American Express, the other banking sort of stock in the Dow, down 1%. And Goldman Sachs down just a touch, about 0.5%. They officially responded to their complaints from their junior analysts, their junior associates that were kind of frustrated at working so hard. They didn't want to work too hard. I thought it was a funny response by Goldman Sachs. Covered that on Friday. Also, we'll go over to the S&P. This is the important one here because I personally think this is a moment in time for the S&P. It needs to get off its you-know-what and get moving if it's going to keep this uptrend intact. And the reason I say that is because you had a steady uptrend here, good little pullback. Everybody got excited about that one. New rally to new highs, but not really an exciting move to new highs before the next pullback. So then we sort of choppily pulled back here, not too bad. We rallied to new highs, but now it's even less of a new high. Look at the distance between here, and then from here to here. It's a lot less. So you have this slowing of momentum in the S&P. One thing that would stop that, get everybody excited again, is if we break to new highs and give us a wide range day. We didn't see that today, and I think as the longer that we start, sort of petering around here, not making any progress, I think you see people get interested in taking profits, especially if we fall apart sector by sector. We'll see what happens there. Up 6.5% year to date, and with that, we'll go over to the sector breakdown here today to take a look. What's falling apart? Is anything falling apart? Well, if we look quarter to date here, there's not much falling apart. If I'm going to zoom out to all the, just looking basically the whole, we'll do it this, it's the same thing, year to date, same thing. Everything's kind of doing okay, still trending higher, but getting a little choppy in here. If you look, even oil, energy had pulled back a little bit. Not so bad there. Today you had utilities as the best performing sector. I want to go over to utilities if I can for a moment here. It takes the top spot. Oh, let's do it this way. Top spot over the last month. So I'm going to go 1 month. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, let's look at utilities only. So this is now your best performing index, sector over the last month. If we take that and compare it to something like energy, look at the money moving. I mean, it's a simple chart. I'm not pretending like this is some magical thing, but a simple chart to show money moving into utilities, also moving out of energy. If we look at consumer staples, I've been pointing that one out, also in the same camp, a very close second. So that's where your action is right now if you happen to be looking at individual sectors. If we go and add tech, because that's always exciting, go in the opposite direction, right? A little catch up there, but otherwise going the wrong way. So very quickly, by just clicking, I don't know if I've ever mentioned that, but if you just click on a sector, it'll put the sector in there so you can compare it from one to the other. And as I do that, now I notice, money's going somewhere else. It's no longer going in tech and having fun there. So kind of cool. If we go into utilities, the problem is a lot of these are going to be extended. So utilities has had a good move, right? Can you chase this move or not? So if I go out 1 month here, there's a couple stocks that really stick out that may be kind of interesting. I'll go with CenterPoint, CNP. So maybe a breakout there. If I just kind of zoom in, it's above moving averages. It's got a lot of free space ahead. It seems like it's trying to break out. That may be one you want to keep an eye on and see if you like that one. It's also one of the better performers over the last month. And maybe Pinnacle West, PNW is a ticker symbol, maybe doing something similar. It's not as clean, not as fancy, but it had a better day. So that's one to point out in that space as well. Speaking of consumer staples, let's go on over to consumer staples. New highs for that one. Continues to be off to the races there. Very, very interesting. And I'll share with you, if you go in the dojo, if you're one of our either clients or you're one of our research members there, we did a post. I got to go back here. Which stocks likely to benefit from stimulus checks? And I'll just share it with you now because it's all done. We talked about why certain stocks would be more beneficial, would do better. We talked about specifically why that is, where the spending is happening. And then I gave you a list of stocks. I actually went through and said those that are down for the year and those that are up. Which ones look good on both sides? So I went through that step by step. And wouldn't you know it, all but 2 from the down list and all but 2 from the up list have outperformed. So that's where the money's going there right now. And that makes it clear. If you do want to join the research site, I have to throw in the obligatory sort of promotion. It's $13 a month. You don't have to be a client of Jazz Wealth. However, if you are a client of Jazz Wealth, it actually comes to you for free. We do not charge you for that. So maybe you'll think about joining. I don't know. You know, we're doing a little bit of everything these days. We're selling coffee cups. Darn, you're going to start, selling shirt. We do whatever it takes, actually. We got bills to pay. All right, so where else can we go here today? For the sector breakdown, let's run over to energy here real quick. Energy down today just a little bit. You got that ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal finally getting going there. And by the way, this was real, right? You guys verified the drawing of the ship? You saw it. Can I throw it out? This video is going to get demonetized. Do me a favor. You know the ship, it's stuck, right? That's the focus. Go look up what the pattern of the ship was before it went into the Suez Canal. It was just sitting out there doing circles and stuff, but it drew a very interesting pattern. I'll call it a phallic pattern, right? Hey, I could say that. And this is no joke. This is just go look and see what it drew, a manly body part, before it took off. That can't be like, the rest of the ships are just doing this, right? And this guy's out there trying to draw, a twig and 2 berries is a nice way to say it. But it's no joke. You got to look that up. That's maybe the most interesting thing I have to share with you here today. All right, let's move on to new stocks that made new highs today. Stocks that made new highs. I'm actually going to be doing a video for the research site here shortly because there's a lot of good ones on the list here. I'll cover a few of them here just to give you an idea what's going on. Sherwin-Williams, new 52-week highs. And as I share that with you, I want you to know that just as many stocks hit new highs and fell, went negative, as hit 52-week highs and continued to go positive. So Sherwin-Williams, recent little breakout there, not too bad. Sticking with home builders, the home space there. You got Pulte Homes, recent kind of a cool little breakout there for them. It did hit new highs and pulled back. These are pullback stocks. You put them on a list, you watch them pull back. You watch our class on Thursday for our clients. You find out exactly when you're supposed to buy these things if you're going to participate. CarMax, hinting at a breakout there. They've really done well. It's one of the outperformers here. CarMax doing well and apparently about to hit new highs there. Fortune Brands, I always type the ticker wrong, not today. So Fortune Brands breaks out here as well. It finished flat, so it did hit highs. The momentum was sort of drawn away from it throughout the day, but still an interesting pattern that I think a lot of people start looking at if they're looking for those breakouts there. And I'll look at Kraft Heinz as well. Pullback stock. It's had a great multi-day move up. Let it take a break. Let's see if we can find a buying opportunity there. And I've got, 8 more that I'll be sharing here as soon as the show is over. I will make that video and post it for you, for those of you that like that. If you're new to us, we use the new high list for ideas. They're not recommendations. They're not, hey, you have to dive in these. It's sort of where you go to find ideas of what may be interesting a couple days from now, as things become more interesting there. All right, stocks in the news here today. What do we have on a Monday? All right, American Airlines, first up on the list there. The stock actually finished flat on the day. They came out and said they expect in the first quarter, when they report their earnings, that their overall capacity to be down 40%. Sounds like a lot, but we were thinking 45 to 50%. That's where they were before, so it's actually kind of a little bit of an improvement there for American Airlines, and I think that's already been sort of priced in there. Applied Materials there, they said they are no longer going to, they were going to buy an electric company, no longer going to buy it, and that's going to cost them $150-something million to terminate that deal. So stock down just a little bit today, but semiconductors as a whole were down as well. Southwest Airlines is going to be, they have a firm order. So this isn't, hey, we'd like to buy 100 737 MAXs. It's a firm order. They're actually going forward with it. One of their more, not larger, but more loyal customers, right? They have the 737 MAXs. They have the most of them in the United States, actually. So that's them. Viacom. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to do a research post that gives an update on the trade that I have on Viacom because it was great on the way down. I had this great idea to flip and go long, which caused a bit of a problem. So I'm going to show you how I'm playing defense there to make this a profitable trade and not get in trouble. But Viacom actually still a little bit lower on the day. Really cool story of how you see why this stock fell lower. If you're into the intricate details of the market, it's really one company that caused it, which really hurt some of the other banks as well. And we're going to have to factor that into earnings when the banks come up for earnings. H&R Block in the news because of the Barron's. They got a Barron's boost over the weekend. They said they like their new diversity, how they're going into different types of businesses and not just being focused 100% on taxes. I think they got a long way to go. If you happen to be one that likes to look at H&R Block and the details of their business, but we'll see. Nonetheless, the stock was up 1.5% today. A couple others, you got Frontier Airlines. I actually like them, Frontier Airlines. I can't say I've flown them more than once, but I like the vibe of that airline. They're going public, actually. They're going to price between $19 and $21. I happen to think it'll be a little bit higher than that, but we'll see what happens there. I think that happens later in the week. And then Coursera, some of you may be familiar with that, the online education portal-y kind of thing. They're going to go public as well. Quickly, I'll take a look at our office trades here. I'm going to jump around a little bit because we don't have to go through everything, but I see someone's trying to control what we look at today. What's Limited Brands? Someone talk to me. That's Charlie. Oh, your Limited Brands. Yeah, I did have that one on my list here today. Finally getting a pullback on Limited Brands. Charlie is short the $65 calls. Plenty of time out in May. And nice reversal today. So obviously Friday wasn't a good day. Moved against him. It has since retreated. We'll hope that continues or just goes sideways. If you're familiar with how that works, he can afford for it to go sideways for a while as well. So he got about 50% of his losses back from Friday. Moving in the right direction. Like to see that. Williams-Sonoma in the mix as well. Oh, Charlie's out of that one. Okay, so I'm going to go to my list here because I put a couple things on there. Home Depot, talk to me. It's a better day today. It's a better day. Yep, so you got about 25% of the losses back on that one. Cody is currently short Home Depot, short the 305 calls, and hey, you know, it just a little early. No problem there. Still very much, has a loss at the moment, but still got a potential to move in the right direction. Didn't go above the 305 yet. If it pulls back even slightly and just takes a break for a good week or so, that's going to be a profitable trade, so I like to see that one. I'll just bring up the AMAT. I was trying a momentum trade. I was honest with you guys. I literally did one. I literally sold one contract just because I'm trying to work on something myself just to get back into the vibe of playing momentum, and I hate it. I did Starbucks a couple weeks ago. I got AMAT now. I don't like it, but at the moment have a very, very, very small profit. On one contract, $40 profit is currently open there. So down a little bit today, but I don't know if I'm ever going to commit to these, but yeah, I got to do it. And then the Russell 2000, if I could put it there, down a little bit. I am long essentially, shorted some calls, 199 puts. I'm sorry, shorted the 199 puts, and it's floating right there. It just basically one day positive, one day negative. Got plenty of time on that. That is in May. Who else? What else you got?
Went long on Discovery today.
Oh, you did. So Charlie playing along. Okay, so this one also affected by that company that had to hurt some banks and all, but that's okay. If we look at Discovery, so your new position here, I like that idea. Sold the 35 puts because you're able to, with the volatility being as high as it is. Got a $2.05 credit for doing that. That is crazy. To be $5 or more now away on a $40 stock and get $2, almost unheard of. So Good job, Charlie, recognizing the volatility, picking up on a little extra dough there. We're still testing this out. The Office Trade Series will not be on the closing beat here. We're going to bring it to clients inside of our dojo, but we're just kind of testing it out just to see what you guys say, what you like, what's odd, what stands out, what questions you have. So when we do bring it, that's what that is, by the way. Ta-da. Got our own little setup working on that and all, but that's what we have going on. Dividends. Avalon Bay, the REIT, paying out $1.59. Illinois Tool Works, $1.14. John Deere, 90 cents, and Humana, 70 cents there. A little bit of shifting going on in the S&P 400 and S&P 600, but all the big moves in the S&P 500 are done. Yeah, I love it. Let's see what questions you have, and I'll see what I can answer here for you. You're long on Zoom. Okay, you got your pullback there. It's been pulling back for a while. So hopefully it doesn't break down too hard there, but nice. Guacamole dip? Not sure what that means. You think the dip comes in the second quarter of the June area? I think the markets can add another 3 to 6% since then. You love that 10 to 20% pullback, though. Yeah, a lot of us are looking for that. And a good one, like stay. Like I'm training a puppy right now, so I'm saying these words. Like fall and then stay. Don't move. Don't just reverse back right away. I think a lot of people would like that pullback. Any stocks sectors you would expect to go up if the U.S. implements a carbon tax? I think there's a number of different proposals there. It certainly seems like we're heading in that direction. Not something I've looked into, so I would be giving you sort of general help there. I probably wouldn't be the best to ask right now. You like your ARC X. Yeah. Well, it's funny that we should maybe make a video of that. When you compare the performance of that fund, that's just the headline fund. There's actually many others that are just like it that have performed better. Not to say it's a bad fund, but it's funny how everybody looks over here, but really there's a lot more going on. But yeah, we'll see. April, July are great, followed by an October, November, December. Well, most Decembers, yeah, I'll give you that one. We actually have a class on that where we went through, and I haven't done that in a while, actually, the average performance by month, what are the better months and what happens throughout those months. I love it. The Dow's outperforming the S&P this year. Yeah, it is. Dow's up just over 9%. S&P's just over 6% or so. I like it. Tandra, you got your long Alibaba? Oh, good. Look at that. I didn't see it yet today. Good little reversal on Alibaba. So I love how this is so awesome, how that, we talked about this in the Wine and Wealth. It broke down, the volume increased, and instead of that being a reason to panic, that was actually a bottom. I love that. I think I covered that on Baidu as well. The idea of what you want to happen is not what you expect to happen, but is what tends to happen. They're really cool. Healthcare. Yeah, healthcare is starting to pick up as well. I know we talked on Friday a little bit about that. We looked through some of the names in the healthcare space, the insurers and everything. Waking up, it's a little early, right? There's not really any heavier volume or anything there, but sure does seem like healthcare is waking up. I would agree with that one 100%. Yep. You bought H&R Block today for a long-term investment. Well, Barron's would say that that's a good idea for you. They're obviously very positive on that one. It's the reason the stock's higher today. You're sort of banking on tax season being big for them now that people have more time. Can't say it'd be my top pick for a longer-term investment, but it's like Boeing, right? There was a long period of time where it was like, the planes, this and that, oil and airlines down, and now that tide is shifting. You can start to see that a bit in the news for H&R Block. Sell in May and go away. Yeah, well, we got to get through April first. You didn't get a stock. Oh, Matt, did you get that? You were one of the first ones we sent it out. Oh, but what he got was. Oh, yeah, yep. I gotcha. Yeah. Sometimes we play games with not games, but sometimes we a little surprise. Yeah, it's like Cracker Jacks. Come on, anybody? Cracker Jacks? Anybody at Cracker Jack? You guys aren't old enough. Cracker Jack? Yeah. They're not the best. I mean, there's another.
Give them 12 parts. They've got a little thing inside.
The thing, yeah, the surprise. Okay, all right. I like it. So I'm not that old. I love it. You buy Bitcoin yet? No, I did not. Nope. What do you think of Newmont trying to break out there? You've had gold lower and lower and lower and finally starting to turn the corner. I get what you're saying about the breakout, the break of this downtrend here. Could it be that this higher low right in here is what causes the move that breaks out? I think if you're taking that shot, number one, you wouldn't need my opinion on this, but I sort of like what you're doing. But the reason why you can essentially afford to take that shot is because what's your risk? Your risk is $59. Not per share, but $59 a share. Right there. That's where everybody's going to have their stop loss. So you've got a breakout here, call it 62, or if you decided to jump in, right? So you got a $3 gap there between your stop and where your entry price would be. How many multiples of that could you get on the way up? I think your risk to reward is solid there. So I have no opinion as to whether you should buy it or if I think it will break out. It's a risk to reward trade. If you take it and you're risking 1 to make 3, okay, it doesn't matter if you're successful on this one. If that's the model that you follow, you don't have to be very successful at all to make a profit. Yeah. Crackerjack actually just has a code, gets you to your NFT there. Yeah. Probably. You love them Crackerjack. That's right. Now I want some Cracker Jacks. There's actually another one that I like better. It wasn't Cracker Jack. It came in like a yellow box. It was probably the off-brand one that my mom would buy at the store, but I just learned to love it better because that was all I got. Yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there because we've got some things to do here today, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again, and thanks for all your support and everything, and happy Monday to you.